Hey Aquarius, welcome to your reading. Alright, let's start your little timer. Start that one because the last reading ended up going for a while, just in case. Okay. Aquarius, there's some sort of new beginning, some sort of new venture that you're starting out in, some sort of new project. There's something new, but I feel like this is a decision you've made and it's causing you to feel a sense of sorrow. Like the decision you've made is causing isolation. It may be making this decision means letting something go, letting someone go, letting a family, a relationship, a friendship go. There's something that can't follow you into this new future. But I feel like this is people. And it's causing some sort of interference. It's like you're not sure. It's like you're second guessing yourself. Like you've been trained to question your own wisdom. So you may have grown up in a way where you were gaslighted, maybe abused in really bad ways, or just around toxic people. There's something that's caused you to not trust yourself, even though you have made the decision to step out on this. It's like you can, but there's just this underlying, like, oh, am I doing the right thing? I feel like this is actually going to cause issues. Like, I don't know. Spirit saying, that blockage is exactly what kept you stuck before you got to this point. This repeats. You go up to this point, you feel blocked, you question yourself, you start again. So you may have had a lot of new beginnings over your life, especially in the last few years. Or a lot of endings, I should say. And then you've tried to start again. And it's like it's repeating again, but Spirit needs to show you that this is actually the step that you've got to push past. Because the sun, your energy, and your power are right on the other side of this mental interference. So whatever's causing you mental interference in relation to this new decision, this new direction that you've been heading in, you need to figure out where that comes from and heal it. And it could just be just trusting yourself and following through rather than questioning yourself to the point where you get like analysis paralysis or imposter syndrome. And then you kind of think, oh, maybe I'll just keep workshopping. I'll just keep planning. I'll just stay in that phase because it doesn't feel right to step out into this power. Because this level of power with the sun and the four of discs, the power cards, these two are the power cards. Or maybe Ace of Wands too. But these two together, that's your future. The sun and power. Your elements are balanced. Spirit, even though I think that's the sun, but anyway. The elements are balanced. Your energy is balanced. In this future, once you push past this thing, that I feel like it's not even your narrative that's keeping you stuck. That's the worst thing. We're going to get into that though. Going to have a little look. Oh, okay, we're going to start with this deck. A bit different. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me more about this? Tell me more about the thing that they're starting. What's that about? This new venture, this new direction. What and why? Whoa. The moon. That was actually inverted, but I don't take these cards inverted. We'll see why. Yeah, something was hidden from you. You became aware of something. There's some sort of like... I feel like this isn't even a big thing. I feel like this is something that just carries on in all areas or many areas of your life. Could have been like originally caused by someone who abused you, but I feel like this is more to do with... because I don't feel like you're in it at the moment. You could be. But this reading, I'm not getting that. I feel like you're removed from the danger, but it's lingering in your energy. Lingering in your energy, yeah. It's kind of like, so you were made aware of some sort of thing. There was something under the surface. You found the piece to the puzzle that made everything make sense. Because of that, you took action, like you do. You take the action. You start planning. Queen of Swords, she's in the planning phase. And then when she goes to take like action, she ends up as the Knave of Chalices. There's this child wound. It's like there's this childlike narrative where you don't feel like you can fully take authority. You don't feel like you can be the parent. You don't feel like you could be the trusted guardian. You don't feel like you could be the one that's the leader. And it's not that you don't feel like you can, but it's like once you get to, it's like you feel like that when you're here, when you're planning, you're the queen. You're like, oh, I can rule. I know how to do this. And you do. But then it's like when you go to step into it, this interference, this Knave of Cups causes you to doubt yourself, doubt your emotions, doubt your intelligence, doubt your ability to perceive something when it's wrong, and your ability to know how to fix something when you need to make it right. You question that for some reason. And I feel like this has got something to do with the past, like some sort of narrative that's carried on since childhood. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's some sort of like religious abuse. If it's an Abrahamic religion, then it's definitely religious abuse. Something just popped out. What is it? 10 of... Yeah. I feel like this is something from your childhood, something that you used to do, like you used to call things out, you used to notice things others didn't. You had this light in you, this spark that was actively cut off. Well, not cut off, but like actively stopped. Actively. And because of that, that's the same narrative that you repeat. It's like just before you step out into your power, after you've got everything ready and you know it's good, you know the value it has, but then when you go to put it into practice, it's the Eight of Swords and the Knave of Chalices. Yeah. And then it ends, it stops, it doesn't even get to continue, it just stops. But Spirit's saying, this is the past. This is the past that has the potential to repeat. For a lot of you, I think it could be at this point. And this might not be something that happens all the time. It could just be in relation to some sort of new venture. Maybe this new venture is you starting a business, or you starting a practice of some sort. But then there's this mental sorrow and this interference, and then you go back and then it ends. But Spirit's saying you need to heal in ways where you can push past this mental interference, this toxic inner narrative that has been playing out since childhood, because once you do, you'll realize the energy that was being held back was the sun, your own personal sun, your own power. Oh, I've got goosebumps again. Was it this reading? I've done 2 others today. I can't remember, but I've got goosebumps again. I don't know if you can see it. When I touch these cards, I'm getting it again. I've got to show you. Look how it... Can you see? You can sort of see. I don't know. The lighting's a bit weird too, so the colours are a bit off as well. There's true power in you waiting to come out, but for some reason, that thing that happened in the past, that cycle that was recurring in childhood, is still reoccurring now. Okay, Spirit. Okay, well, good. Thank God we're going to the. We got all right away. Okay, how do we get out of this, Spirit? How, like, what do I want to ask? How can they push past this interference? Like, give us advice on that, because that's the main thing we need to know. How do we push past this interference? What is it? How do we push past it? Oh, it fell out right on it too. So here we go. 7 of Pentacles. Needing to stop and take stock of the damages that were done to you in childhood is something that's coming through very, very clear for you guys. So I'm so sorry if that's you. Like, if this is your reading, I do feel like what you went through was very chaotic. And on the surface, to a lot of people, it may not look that way, but you know what you went through. You know how it had affected you. There's a real need to take stock of that and how it keeps manifesting in your life and what steps you can do to mitigate that. Work with healthcare professionals. Work with your energy, your ancestors, your guardians, your guides. Employ everyone and attack this at every angle, because this is so important that you overcome this. Aquarius, you need to overcome this. You need to. Your future will not begin. Your happy ever after, your inner power that you've been craving will never be obtained if you don't push past this. I'm sorry to be like really direct, but that's Spirit really needed me to say it in that way. What have we got? 2 of, yeah. Going into the childhood wounds, going into the past, and it doesn't have to be things that you've already dealt with. If you've dealt with them, you've dealt with them. But if you can't even think about these topics, you can't even touch on the topic without feeling triggered, it's very likely you haven't healed. But taking stock and going into this, looking at the things that were repeating, look at the relationships that kept failing, look at the family members that kept betraying, look at the jobs that kept not working out, look at the housemates, like, you know what I mean? Just keep going in and in. There's multiple things that look the same, that when you stop and turn to look at them, you'll see the patterns. You'll be like, that happened again, that happened again, that happened again. That's just my life. It is your life, but the reason it's been happening is something that was given to you or shown to you, some sort of behavioral trait that you were encouraged to embody as a child. So it could even just be like you had a parent or a guardian that either abused you or was just very controlling and very dismissive of your opinions, your intellect, your creative passions. And because of that, you've internalized this thing like, I can't get too big, I can't get to this, I can't get to that, because I don't want to feel like that again. I don't want to be made to feel like I'm this stupid, embarrassing child that shouldn't be doing what they're doing or shouldn't be interested in what they're interested in, or it's something like that. I'm so sorry for you guys if this is your reading. But Spirit's saying, when you look into this and look into the past, you will see all these repeated things, and it'll just be like different faces, same situation, different job, same job. Like, it's the same thing repeating. Once you figure out that pattern, where it came from, and all of that, then you'll know how to move forward. That will balance your energy, and you'll go, oh my God, this wasn't me this whole time. I've been holding myself back to make others feel comfortable when I thought it was to make me feel more secure. But it wasn't. You were doing it to placate people that are in your nervous system that you didn't even realize were still in your nervous system. Events that have taken place that are still in your nervous system. So stop taking stock of this, going in with a therapist, a psychologist, a healer. Just start going into it though. And not in a way that causes you distress, but just try to look at the commonalities of things that have failed or not worked out or caused you distress, and try and see if you can notice a repeating pattern. If you can, then this is likely a karmic path. Something that you were destined to go through until you decided not to go through it. Something you were destined to feel and embody until you were ready to have the level of self-awareness that it takes in order to overcome these battles that were put on your battlefield for you to overcome. And enjoying the Spirit saying, enjoy this process. This will be empowering, this will be healing, this will be beautiful. And bit by bit, you will feel more and more yourself, and you'll be able to trust that inner child instead of having that inner child pop up and go, hey, we can't, Queen, I know, but we can't, because look, let's just shut it down. Let's shut it down. Now, come on. And he's like trying to push everyone off the table, like, come on, let's go. That's you trying to keep yourself safe. And that's okay. But you don't need to do that now because you're in a position where you can take charge. And you've got the wisdom to see that you weren't in the wrong, that you were suppressed. And that process, that's spiritual soul level alchemy. Anything else on how Aquarius can help move past this? Page of Pentacles sideways. There's a strong emphasis on the need to not get caught up on the emotions that you might feel, like emotions of injustice when you're going into these things, because there's a potential for you to start getting very resentful the more awareness that you have. Because you'll be like, I can't believe I let that happen. And then you'll start to associate people, places, and things to these repeated cycles. That's okay. That can also be very helpful to identify who's who and what's what. But there's also a potential to become very resentful, very closed off, bitter, reactive, wounded. Because there's one thing to look at old wounds and open, rip off those bandages. It's another thing to rip them off and then tend to the wounds. Make sure that you're not taking off these metaphorical bandages without continuing to heal them, because if you do, it will drive you nuts. You'll end up as the Page of Pentacles, trying to get up. The Page of Pentacles on his back is looking up. So it'll always be something that you look towards. It'll always be something that you need Spirit to help you with. Like you're always reaching up and out to someone and something to help you up off the ground. Yeah, which will cause mental unrest. So Spirit's saying, go into it, keep grounded, but keep your eyes on the prize. Don't forget why you're doing it. You're not doing it just to do it. You're doing it because of the sun and the power that awaits you that can't be brought in until you deal with this. And it's not going to be a tumultuous journey. It's not going to be, I don't want to say difficult because it could be, but you won't have to wait to the end of the process to reap the rewards. You won't have to wait to the end of this process to experience the gains and the benefits of Spirit and have those spiritual moments, those spiritual breakthroughs, those revelations. That will happen from the moment you start. So don't think like, oh, to get to that spiritual point where I can draw and manifest and pull on Spirit and channel and heal and I have to do all this before I get there. Nope. You're already there. It's just, you've got to use your gifts in order to heal this. And you'll still be experiencing spiritual things. You'll still be having breakthroughs. You won't have to wait to the end of the hard work. But like I said, there is potential. Just be aware. Going into the past sometimes can bring up a lot of anger. you need to know how to process these things when you're going into the past. So energetic practices like meditation, practicing gratitude, calling on spirit, all of those things will help you at this time. Alright guys, I want to close it out with one more. Okay. They're telling me to go to this other deck. Okay, Spirit, close it out. For Aquarius, close it out. What have you got as a final message? Happy family. Yep. The rainbow, the sun, This is how it all ends up for you guys. When you do this hard work, this sun, this power, this happy family, I'm getting goosebumps again. I haven't had goosebumps like this in a reading in a long time. Just constant. You can't see, it's hard to raise my arm up that high. Oh, and it's a 4. 4 and 4. So 44 could be relevant. 444 could be a number that you're getting recently. Got any other triple numbers out here? Nope. Okay. Happy family, power, the sun, your joy, the type of life that you've always deserved to live is literally just waiting on this one little blockage that keeps popping up in your mind to be cleared. Now, there could be people in your life causing this blockage too, like adding to it. But I feel like the energy that you're in, it's like you already know, you're ready to go. You're ready to move. You just need that one spark or that one obstacle moved, and then you feel like everything will just start flowing then. It's inside your energy. It's inside your air element. I'll leave it at that. But you've definitely got the sun, the power, happy family, good things on the way, and spirit is bringing them in a very vivid, very powerful way. Sun, 4, 4. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helped, and if you could consider subscribing and liking, all that sort of stuff, it really does help the channel to grow and encourages me to keep making videos. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and blessed be.